bombs going on. Okay. Okay. Welcome, all 0 of you to this live stream. Okay. It's a Saturday night / Sunday. This is a first new episode, Sporting Saturdays. We're going to touch on sports and lessons that we can learn from sports people, and maybe touch on, later down the future, real sporting events that are coming up and my take on it. But for now, we want to touch on sporting things that have happened and life lessons that we can take from that. If you don't know already, I'm Marcus Quasi. I specialize in informing broke people and rich people on what to do with their money, essentially, and I've been doing that for about 2 decades now. In addition to that, I'm also a retired corporate professional, retired professional athlete, retired roadman, retired refugee, migrant, son, brother, boyfriend, and I'm here to help you live the business class lifestyle. And if you don't know what the business class lifestyle is, you are missing out. You are indeed. Business class lifestyle essentially is something that I coined for where you kind of want to be operating in life. If you look at it in terms of airline coach classes, you've got your economy class. Now that's a given. You live that type of lifestyle just by existing, more or less. You've then got premium economy. That's where you've done a little bit of work, you've got yourself a little bit of extra room, and you're living life just above, comfortably above the breadline. But then you've got business class. Now it's not exactly first class, but it's at a level where you've got everything in place. Life's great. You could actually do the couple first class things there every now and then if you wanted to, but that's an option you have. A business class person is thrifty. They're very intelligent with how they move generally, and with their finances as well. They are intelligent. Now, they would have the option to go for a first class, but if it only made sense or they wanted to do it now and then. So what I'm basically saying is, you are born good. You can get very good. Business class is great. And most people with, a bit of consistent long-term effort can live a lifestyle that is at what I would coin business class. And if you're phenomenal, you can do first class and live that normally. But again, it comes with advantages and disadvantages. This is where the sweet spot, I believe, is at business class. And essentially what this channel is going to do over the course of the let me get some emoji. Let me get some of my sounds in there. There we go. That's the business class lifestyle flying through. All aboard the business class lifestyle aircraft there. They're coming again. They're coming back round. There we go. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Marcus taking you all aboard the business class coach to the lifestyle that you want. End of announcement. And we are back on live now. We're just playing around, but I think it's something that everybody should experience. I think it's possible for everyone, and I can take you hopefully from A to B, from that economy class to business class. If we're talking about first class, that's God level stuff. I can't do that for you. You might have to have some natural talents and the like, but I think we can all get ourselves at the very least to business class. And a lot of the things that I will do on this channel would come into the sectors of health, wealth, and relationships, because those are the main elements you need to kind of put in place to live that business class lifestyle, essentially. But today, this is Sporting Saturdays, a first for the Marcus Quasi channel. Thank you. And we look at sporting people, their life journeys, and what we can kind of take from that. So today we are looking at Emi Martinez. He is a football player, soccer, if you are, that way inclined, Americans and so on, Australians. But he's a professional football player, a goalkeeper, and he's recently, only a couple of months ago, last year, won the FIFA World Cup of football. And he made a few headlines with the way he behaved. He's got his own sort of style. He's a really, really interesting character. So I thought we would start with looking at him and some of the lessons that we can learn in terms of how we can apply that to your day-to-day lives to win effectively. So let's start off. Who is Emi Martinez? Like I said, he's a goalkeeper. He's an Argentinian national. He started his football career at a club called Independiente. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's an Argentinian club. Hola, mi Argentine amigos. Hablo poco español, pero muy mal, obviously. But yeah, he's an Argentinian child, grew up in Argentina. If you don't know much about the background of Argentina, they are massively, massively big on football, like massively, massively big on football. They've had a lot of world-renowned superstars that have come out of that country in terms of football. So you're looking at Diego Maradona. I don't know if you know who that gentleman is, but discussed in the realms of greatest of all times when it comes to football. And then obviously the man that's living now, who I believe has eclipsed Cristiano Ronaldo based on GOAT status, based on winning that World Cup. So player for player, there's a different argument. But in terms of GOAT status, I believe you judge it on what people win and achieve. The World Cup elevates in their conversation done. If you want to talk about who's a better player, that's different. If you want to talk about GOAT status, you're looking at what they won. Messi's got that. If you don't know, Lionel Messi, current active football player, captain of Argentina, also plays for PSG, Paris Saint-Germain in France. So this guy, Emi Martinez, you probably wouldn't really have heard of him. He's, started his career at a club called Independiente, one of the bigger clubs in Argentina. At the age of 17, just imagine yourself at 17. If you're 17 right now, just imagine yourself. If you're older, just imagine yourself what you were doing at 17. So at 17, this Donny has moved to a whole nother country, a whole nother language, a whole nother culture, and he's joined Arsenal Football Club, that by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. But we'll touch on that another time. He's joined Arsenal Football Club as a 17-year-old young goalkeeper in a whole different environment, and he's gone on to do some really, 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 really good things, effectively. Some big competitions at Arsenal. So he's won what they call the FA Cup. It's quite a prestigious cup. He's also won a couple of times, actually, what we would call here the FA Community Shield. Again, reasonably revered, award, I guess, amongst other things. In terms of Argentina, he's won the World Cup, as I mentioned. He's also actually won the Copa America in 2021, and he's won another competition, the UEFA Cup of Champions, in 2022. Now, with Argentina, he's won the FIFA World Cup. That's the creme de la creme. That's right up there. That's that's the business. You can't get better than that. That's you're the You're the Don. In the World Cup, you get one of those. That's what you get. He's won the World Cup. He's won the Copa America. He did all that in, I believe, under 25 appearances. That's a bit nuts. 25 appearances. That's not really normal. And I'll come deeper into that part of his story. He's also managed to, like I said, Copa America, Golden Gloves, and all that kind of stuff. And with the trophies that he's won at Arsenal, like the FA Cup, the 3 Community Shields, that was done in roughly about 15 appearances. Now, that's wild. That's actually quite wild. I mean, it can happen. But again, when I touch on his story in a bit more detail, you'll see why that is actually quite wild. So like I said, young guy moves over to the. I mean, look, put this in your mind, right? This is what I always think. Like I've played football at a very high level. I've also played football in overseas countries, so I know that transition and that journey. But I'll explain something to you on a very basic level. Let's just say right now you're a marketing professional. Let me think of a more common job that people might do. Let's say you work in customer services. That's not like an extremely high skilled job. It's a really important role. You can be an expert in that area, but it's not necessarily a very, very high skilled job. Now, imagine you had to do the same job that you're doing right now, wherever you are. Let's say you're in the UK, and just immediately have to do it in Argentina. And when I say immediately, you've got to still get your equivalent of national insurance to do the job. You've got to find housing. You've got to find the places that have the shops that you want to actually go to, the food that you like. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say here. It's a massive, massive shift, a major change in your life. And you're doing that at 17. Most people right now could not today move to Argentina with the same job and make any type of success of it. That's just the real. You got to be real here. Most people right now could not do that, and this is what these people are doing. So a lot of people talk about sports people and professions and the money that they're getting paid. I'm telling you from experience, this is not a joke, an easy job. Like I said, I moved to Spain and played football in Spain, and I'm telling you, the pressure that you're under, like no one cares that you just come. No, you've got to perform. You've got to perform. I remember I turned up in Spain. We had to play a game. I can't even remember. We had to play a game like a couple of days later. I'm looking for food, and the place that we're at, they're doing up siesta, so supermarkets aren't open. I've got a game tomorrow, and I haven't stocked myself for food, and I'm playing the game with an empty stomach. This is real. And then I'm playing the game with an empty stomach. Obviously, I have a stinker, innit? I have a stinker. Next minute, I know I'm at home, and I'm hearing noise on the window, like someone's throwing something at the window. I'm like, what's going on? I'm hearing it. ¿Por qué no gol? ¿Por qué no gol? Cabron. I'm hearing all kinds of nonsense. I'm looking outside, and people are throwing rotten fruits. I'm telling you, man, it's not a joke. I'm like, yo, I've just turned up to the country. I barely got my NIA. I don't even know how to speak the language. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm getting all of this. But this is what, at that level, this is what you have to do to succeed. And I'm just telling you on a basic level, can you actually, in your normal job, just switch over to Argentina and hit the ground running? Of course you can't. Of course you can't. It'll be very difficult to do, and I'm not saying it's impossible, but most people aren't going to be able to do that. This guy, Emi Martinez, is doing that at age 17. He's gone over to Arsenal. You'll hear in a second he's got a bit of a London accent, but he started from there and gone all the way to achieve, his wildest dreams, which is to become a winner of the World Cup. That's the biggest trophy, the biggest achievement you can have in football. Now, let's see how he's got from A to B. You'd expect there to have been, something maybe straightforward or consistent steps. Let's just see how he's actually got from A to B. So actually how he's got from A to B is that he has actually he signed for Arsenal, like I said, as a 17-year-old, and he was at Arsenal for, I believe, 10 years. Do you know how many times he played for Arsenal in that 10 years? 15 times. Now, let me put that into context for people who don't understand football. 15 times. 15 times. In a season, you're playing at least 30 matches a season, if you're actually the ones that are playing, unless you're on the bench or not even in the squad, in a season you're playing at least 30 times. So let's say he was a consistent player over those 10 years, he would have played 300 times. There are some people that had joined the club the same time as him, and over that same 10-year period, these people have played 200 to 300 times. Do you know how many times Emi Martinez played? 15 times. How would you feel if you turned up for your job, you moved to another country, and you're playing the equivalent, right, for the actual job or the company that you went for? You're showing up the equivalent of, I don't know, that's basically about 5% of the time. That's insane. So he didn't play very much for the team that he actually even wanted to play, and that actually put him at a bad situation, because he was not able to show his country that he was good enough to be selected. So he also didn't play for Argentina for those 10 years. He made his Argentina debut. He made his Argentina debut at age, I believe, 27, 28. And that's not normal in football or soccer, if you want to call it that. Because really, you should be, people are getting in there from like 22, 24, you know what I mean? It's quite crazy to make your debut that late. But we've got a few little clips, and we're gonna see some of the things that he has to say about why it took him so long for the debut, and also just what he thought about that really, and what actually happened on his debut, because even his debut didn't go very well. But let's have a look here. Let's have a look what he's got to say. So. He just wants to play one game. He's so passionate about playing for his country. I'm going to show you something in a little while. But he's so passionate about playing for his country. He really wants this. Just one game. He just wants to be able to say, I played for Argentina. That's how much it means to him. And he knows the footballing history, like I touched on, that Argentina has. See what else he has to say. 28, and he's saying 28 last season, and this is real. So let's just see what it had, in terms of the dates. This is the 19th of December 2022. He'd not even won the World Cup there, so he's just talking about literally just making his debut. Insane. See, that's quite painful as well. Like when you're actually playing, but playing in reserves, you're playing in the younger age group. You're not actually, you're so close, but you're not actually there. That's quite painful. You're just waiting for your chance, waiting for your chance, waiting for your chance. You're waiting for your chance into quite advanced ages. Like I said, in terms of the younger ages, I believe it only goes up to under 21 or under 23. And to be honest, you could be 21 and be in the first team. It's not like you got to wait. A lot of the first teamers are young. But if you're 25, you're 26, that's quite unheard of. He's 27. I don't know. He's probably 27. So you're allowed to have one or two, I think, players above 23 that play in the under 23s. So he's playing in. He's not playing in the first team. No, he knows he's almost there, but it's not quite happening for him. Okay, so he just said there, when he came to Aston Villa, he had rhythm. So he was ballsy. He was ballsy. Effectively, what happened was, in his 9th year at Arsenal, the goalkeeper, Bernd Leno, got injured. He was ready. He took that opportunity. He had a really good, strong ending to the season. That was the season that he managed to win the FA Cup. And he backed himself. He turned around and he was like, "Yo, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. I'm that guy." That's what he did. He turned around and he said, "I'm that guy. I know I've been waiting for 9 years. I wasn't rubbish for those 9 years. I'm that guy." And big up Bushwatcher for coming in. Big up Bushwatcher. Grrr, back, 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 back. All 2 of you to this live stream. I'm the other one, but big up Bushwatcher. You don't want to put your name in there and your details in there, so we're going to have to call you Bushwatcher. I appreciate it. I don't know who you are, but I honestly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I'm talking to no one right now, nothing, but you're here. I don't know who you are, I don't know where you're from. Maybe I do know, but you're not showing up here, so you've got your anonymity. But I honestly do really appreciate it, because this is going to be a long journey. And to have people here at this point, I can only be appreciative of that. And please do continue to support. But as I was saying, the Donny backed himself. I've stepped in for the goalkeeper after 9 years. I've smashed it for that season. Yeah, I showed who I am. Yeah, and I'm not gonna wait around for you to put me in a position again. I'm gonna clubs have seen me now. People know what I'm about now. I've shown myself now. So I'm gonna look out there, and if anyone else wants me, can give me games, can give me the opportunity to show who I am, I'm gonna take that. And Aston Villa gave him that chance. And this is what he said. He said routine. He gave him that consistency that he needed to show Argentina that he was the guy. Yeah? And he wasn't messing around. He was serious. He was hungry. He knew where he was going. And when that opportunity came, he took it and he went to Aston Villa, which, if you guys don't know, Aston Villa is a much lower club than Arsenal. He's taken a step down to go forward here. The man is taking a step down to actually go forward. That's the real. I'm trying to say. So he's really backing himself, and this is going to lead into the whole conversation we're going to have on cockiness and arrogance versus confidence and competence. This guy clearly has a degree of self-assurance here. What he's been through and the work he's done is giving him a degree of self-assurance. Son, whoever's behind this camera, you need to have a degree of self-assurance in this world to go from A to B. It's not going to come from nowhere, though. It's going to have to come from some things that you actually do. But not only that, don't let people throw you off by calling you arrogant or cocky when really you've just done the damn work and you know you can actually deliver. Don't let people throw you off by calling you overconfident, arrogant, cocky, when actually you've done the damn work and you are competent at the damn work that you're going to do, and you are also confident because of the damn work that you've done. All right? And we're gonna see that in what this guy, like I said, this is 2019. He ain't won no World Cup. He might have won an FA Cup at Arsenal. But FA Cup and World Cup is light years away in terms of achievement. Yeah? Light years away. And right now, he's talking from the position of a man that, I think he's from that conference. I don't know if he's just played a couple friendlies so far for Argentina, like maybe under 23. This is 2019. He hadn't won the World Cup by then. The Donny ain't won the World Cup by then, But you can see he's got some self-assurance. He's backing himself. And that's what you got to do. I want you kids out there, you grown people out there, anyone out there, you need to back yourself and come with some type of assurance. Come with that positive energy and drive. That's the only way you're going to get anything in this world. No one's going to give you anything. People are going to give you what you actually give yourself. You might have to take. See what else he has to say. You thought it was going to be easy, right? You thought, yeah, I'm here, I made it. You thought it's time to be. You thought he was going to be happy. You thought he was going to be happy. See, life has a lot of bumps on the journey. It's never smooth. It can be, but you can't expect it to be. See, he's made his debut. I don't know if you're listening to what he's saying. Concussion is a very serious thing in sports, especially football now. They're taking additional measures when you get concussed. My guy has been concussed by Yerry Mina. I don't know if you know who Yerry Mina is. If I show you a picture of Yerry Mina right now, this guy is an animal. Yerry Mina. If I show you Yerry Mina right now, he's a monster. He's massive. He's 6'4", absolute tank, and he smashed into him. You know, and the guy still wanted to play. He ain't been struggling and begging and, you know, dreaming to kind of just let it all go. He wants to actually finish and see out his job, even though he's knocked out, and he does see out that job. He actually does see out that job, I think. Let's have a look. My guy. My guy. You can't get rid of my guy that easy. Come on, you got to drop a bomb for that, man. You want to have a fight with the doctor. The team, like I said, concussion is a serious thing. They want to take you off. My guy say, let's fight. The guy say, I ain't going nowhere. You want to take me off? Let's fight. It gets like that sometimes. You know what I mean? Let's see what happened in the end. 15 years for that one debut that he worked for. It's not a joke thing to achieve something big. It typically takes time. Whether you've seen them put in that time or whether they didn't put that time in, but someone put that time in before, it typically takes time to achieve something big or special. That overnight stuff, you need to get that out of your head. You need to not even be looking for that. Someone else needs to tell you that that was overnight. You should not be looking for an overnight success. A lot of the times, a lot of people, they're always looking for these quick get rich scams and all this nonsense. Forget it. Work on yourself and get some value in your life. Get some value in yourself. Pick up valuable skills, trades, services, and market yourself if you have to. Don't be sitting around waiting to crypto pump and all this nonsense and buy a property for free and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying you can't do this stuff. I'm saying you should not be relying on that stuff. You got to work. I'm sorry. Okay, so I don't know if he ended up coming off. If he ended up coming off, well then hey. Yeah, you know, Yerry Mina can do that to you. He can send a couple men to meet their maker. You know what I mean? This is how it really is. You waited 15 years for this moment, and then when you try and do your thing, a man like Yerry Mina knocks you out concussed, and that's the end. And I can speak to that because I went to Spain to play football. I got a contract, and man got his whole leg mangled up, ACL torn, and all that kind of stuff. So it can go for you like that. Game over, you know, Mario style. But this is kind of the mindset, the background, the hunger, the passion, the desire. You get an idea of what this guy is made of and his fabric. And like I said, for most people to even just go to another country and perform their own job is almost, most people can't do that. Most people can't, especially if it's another country with another language. Most people cannot do that. Most people cannot do that. That's a monstrous step. I've made that step, and I can tell you it's a monstrous step. It's not a joke thing at all. Like that, even to just be settled in that country is a monstrous step. To get your housing in shape, to get your bills, your food, the way you. Trust me, man. It's not a joke thing. It's not a joke thing to change country, man. I've done that. I've done that a few times. I've done it from Africa. I've done it in Spain. I've done it in Canada. Look, it's not a joke thing. It's not a joke thing to be doing that. And yeah, it's just not a joke thing, man. Like, if you understand English in this world, you can get by quite a bit. Even with that said, to make those transitions are massive, massive, massive. This Donny did it at 17. He's got to be hungry. He's got to be an animal. He's got to have that fire in him. But like I said, at that moment, he probably just won. I think the FA Cup, which is quite a decent thing. I think he also may have won. I mean, let's just check the date of this. Let's check the date of this one more time. I'm gonna check the date of it without showing you. So that was 2019, or was it 2019? Let me just check that one more time. I'm not even 100% sure now, but effectively. In 2021, he won the Copa America, which is another big trip, way bigger than the FA Cup, just underneath the World Cup. And then in 2022, he won the World Cup, and he achieved his dream. Essentially, he achieved his dream, and he achieved the dream of a nation as well. And this is what it means to the country and everything else. I mean, let's just look here at the moment that kind of happened. Bring this up here. So this is him making the save. So you're going to notice some things about his character and the way he moves and some of the things he does. And let's have a look anyway. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Bear with me one moment. Yeah, let's have a quick look. If you look there, he's dancing. He's doing a little silly little dance. Is that cocky or is that arrogant? He just made a save. Let's watch that again. He's doing a little dance. He's made a save. Is that cocky? Is that arrogant? Or is that competence? Or is that confidence? Is that gamesmanship? Is that him putting the other team under pressure? Is that him playing mind games? You've got to look at these things. You've actually got to look at these things, because this is a deep dive, an examination of what is actually going on here, the psychology of what this guy is actually doing. So that was against France. That's what he's done there. But this is not just one thing at that moment. He was doing this way before the actual World Cup. So what you'll see again, let's have a look at this. So this is against Manchester United, I believe. He saved the penalty. Let's not have the sound for, I don't know, copyright purposes. Or shall we have it? Yeah, let's have it. Why not? Let's have it. Let's be having ya. Let's see what's going on. The guy's Nick. He's doing a funny little dance. He's doing a funny little dance. But what you don't know is the lead up to that. Let's have a look here. So the lead up to that is this. He's actually, once the guy's been fouled and the penalty's been awarded, he's playing a little kind of mind games and gamesmanship. He's telling Cristiano Ronaldo, sure you might have heard of him, he's also another footballer. He's telling Ronaldo to take the penalty. He's bringing it to him. You take it. Go take it. Take it. I want you to take it. That's what he's saying to Ronaldo. And Ronaldo just standing there. And in the end, someone else, he's laughing a little bit there. Yeah, he's letting his guard down there. He's laughing a little bit. Cavani, the guy you see there, number 21, he's also a Uruguayan, I believe, Spanish speaker. So they're probably having a little joke. This is in the 91st minute. You can see the score there. Man United just need to score that to level. And he's giving everything. He's trying everything. He's trying everything to put them off effectively. And let's see what happens. He's moving around, acting funny, and they missed it. And he's dancing. He's a bit of a troll, isn't he? He is a bit of a troll. But that's the kind of guy he's like. You know, he's clearly someone who's got a level of selfishness. He's dancing in. Just to make you aware, there's about 70,000 people watching, and he's doing that silly dance. Is that cockiness and arrogance, or confidence and competence? The guy's got a result from what he's doing. You know, that's a big distinction between the two, is the result. If you keep talking and acting and everything that you're talking about and acting about and professing, when it comes to it, you're not doing any of that. This is where we have to talk about arrogance, cockiness, and the like, right? Does he have to do that? Well, look, you're looking at it. Could that be gamesmanship? Could he be trying to do whatever it takes to win? At the end of the day, when you get the result, no one can really talk to you about cockiness and arrogance, because what you've done has led to what result that you were looking for. But let's move on. And like I said, he's done what he's done, and he carried that right the way throughout to the World Cup final, where he ended up basically making some crucial saves. And this is what it means. Like, this guy, he said there, it took 15 years for him to make one appearance. 15 years to make one appearance, and he ends up winning the World Cup. And just recently, they've had a game, and if you won the World Cup, you've got to have a big procession where they bring you out and congratulate you. And let's just see what it means to them. Let's just see, These guys, grown men, they're almost in tears. They're almost in tears. I'm sure there'll be a lot of grown men in the stadium that are in tears, because it's Argentina and they love their football. Messi, look at these Donnies. Look at these guys. Like, look at these guys, man. Look at Messi. Look at him. Look at the fans. I think it's about 80,000 people in there. There's about 80,000 people in there, just jubilant, rejoicing. Look, I'm deep into sport. I'm deep into football. I love playing the sport. I'm not necessarily big on just watching. I love playing the sport. But there is something to be said about the levels of passion that they have. If that's something that you've been doing all your life, if you're playing the sport, you can see where that comes from. If you're not playing the sport and you don't understand the sport, I completely get if you turn around and said, well, why are they so passionate about this? Why is it such a big deal? Why is there... If you're not into certain environments, you don't do certain things, you don't have certain interests, and you don't have a history, as there is a big history of football with that country. Their biggest rival is the country next door, which is Brazil. So they've got a big, big history of that sport. That sport has probably done a lot for that country in terms of even like economically, and these particular nations, they're not, they've got a lot of issues. They have got a lot of issues, and perhaps not as economically advanced as some of the other nations that you or I may live in. So they take a lot of solace and jubilation from these type of victories, And it's it's up to you whether you think that's right or wrong or whatever. But as someone who's played the sport, knowing what sport can do for people, how it can bring people together in some of the worst of moments, I can relate to some of this. Yeah, to see just how much it means to all of these. They've got their families out, they've got their kids out, everybody's out. Look at it, And look, as it goes on, the singing, the emotion, the chanting, the crowd. I think after a while it gets a bit much for Messi and Emi Martinez, because I mean, he's probably right now thinking about when he was 17, when he really wanted. At that moment, I believe he's about 28 at that moment. This is 10 years later, 10 years later. He's probably thinking, oh my, I've done it all. There's no more trophies to win through. He's done it all at world level. That's it. He can fall asleep. He's done it all between about 2 years. Like I said, 25 appearances, Copa America, FIFA World Cup, and the UEFA Cup of Champions. That's I don't know if that's been done so quickly. I don't know if anyone's ever done that so quickly, especially a goalkeeper. That's outrageous. Especially a goalkeeper that made his debut at the age of 28. It's madness, and I think the whole emotion of it just sunk in, and he's shedding a tear there. Round of applause for Argentina and Emiliano Martinez, man. Hey, look, he's done the work and he's got the results. You can't knock him. You can't knock him. You cannot knock him, man. Sport, it can bring you to that situation where you're, brought to tears and so on. It's that real. It's that real. But let's move on a little bit. And I always forget to do this. I've got a timer here, and I'm supposed to put that down so I can see when, an hour is up. But I always forget to do it. We're probably about 45 minutes in. I told you from the start, this time is for about an hour to 45 minutes, I can't remember. But I told you from the start, what we'll do is we'll touch on Emi Martinez, who he is, what he's done. We'll talk a bit about his character and look at, some of the themes that I mentioned before, juxtaposing confidence and competence with arrogance and cockiness, right? But we're also going to look at some of the lessons from his journey, okay, that you can take home and you can apply in your day-to-day normal life. Sport is a beautiful thing. Lessons every day, lessons every time you play. Honestly, it's a beautiful thing. And the fact that there are winners and losers, I think, is also very important. If you've lost today, it doesn't make you a loser for life. If you're a loser today, you may not have necessarily lost everything yet, right? But I like the fact that there are clear winners and losers in sport. It gives you a base from which to look at what's happened and say, what can I do? What adjustments can I make to get to that point that I want to get to? But what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the key elements of this guy's journey effectively, and just relay it to your day-to-day life. So, lesson number 1, attack life with all the energy you have. Son, attack life with all the energy you have. No one's going to give you anything. No one's going to want it more than you. That's very, very rare for someone to want it for you more than you. You need to attack life with everything you have. And one of the things that you have as a young man or a young woman right now is energy. That's something you possess. If you don't have money, if you don't have wisdom, right? Because you may not have lived or seen enough, experienced enough. If you don't have a certain level of intellect, connections, social skills, you damn well got energy. Expend energy to make life bend to your will. Go at things full throttle. Emiliano Martinez, he changed bloody country. My man changed bloody. You gotta give him a little hoot for that, man. Drop a little bomb for my man. My man changed country. I mean, I think my mum always says it. So you're not a tree. You can move. You can keep on moving until you get to where you want to get to. Energy, man. Energy is massive. And, if you're a young person, even if you're an older person, you need energy. Use it. And attack life, attack your goals with all the energy that you have. Next thing, stay ready. Stay ready. Stay ready. Yeah? This guy waited for 15 years and he didn't let himself get rusty for 15 years. Let me tell you something else as well, right? In those 15 years, he was playing in the first team for 7 years, right? In those 7 years, he was loaned out to 6 or 7 different teams. One in Spain, the rest in the UK. My man wasn't sitting around. My man was working while he was waiting. Yeah. And then when the goalkeeper, that was at Arsenal at the time, Bernd Leno, right? When he got injured, Emi just stepped straight in and he was gone. He just went straight through. He was ready. He was ready that same season. From nowhere, he's come in. He's played the rest of the season. He's won the FA Cup and he's bust out to Aston Villa, backed himself out the whole thing. 20 million transfer fee, and he's playing week in, week out Aston Villa. From then, he's gone to Argentina and he's won the whole World Cup. He's completed football, effectively completed football. I mean, he may not have won other titles that we like to revere in football, such as Champions Leagues and stuff like that. But you've done a worldie. You've done the World Cup. You can walk away. You can walk away. Not many people get to win a World Cup, let alone Copa America, you know. But the main thing is he was ready for that opportunity. Work while you wait, guys, man. Floyd Mayweather. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a boxer. Floyd Mayweather. One of the greatest to ever box. His thing was, when it came to camp, which is a preparation period, a training period for the opponent that you're about to fight, when it came to camp, he always said this. He always says, when it comes to camp, all I'm doing is sparring and analyzing the opponent. I don't need to do a physical training to get myself up to shape. I stay ready. So when it comes to camp, the average person in that 3-month camp might spend a month just getting himself up to shape. He stays ready. He's spending that whole 3 months actually doing real life scenarios of fighting, what they call sparring, and also analyzing the opponent. He stays ready, man. You guys got to stay ready. Third thing, take calculated risks. Now, I'm going to show you something here. Because, you know, you were seeing him doing some funny little antics, you know, talking to players in a certain way. This may not be good sportsmanship, and you can actually get in trouble for that. You might be able to, you might end up getting cautioned. You might end up getting suspensions. Like some people see it differently depending on who's the referee at the time, but you can get in trouble for that. And I'll show you something, because he has been in trouble for that in some respects. Let me get this up for you. Can have a look at something here. Just 1 second. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Just bear with me. I'm gonna add that in there. Have a look. Turn that sound off. So that the referee's speaking to him. He's kind of he's saying that he's not doing anything, but then again he's talking to the player. He's making he's look. he's playing with it. That's a risk. See, in his quest to kind of unsettle the opponent who was about to take a penalty, he's taken a risk, and you can see the referee's about to pull out a card, which is a caution in football. If you get 2 of those, they will take you off the pitch, you know? So he's taken a calculated risk there. He's got a yellow card. And then look what he's done here. He's got the ball, and he's thrown the ball away. So the opponent has to walk all the way over there to get the ball. Maybe he's going to unsettle himself a little bit. He's going to start thinking about different things. He's thrown the ball away, and the referee just looked at him. He's already got a yellow card. I don't know if it was the same game, but he's already got a yellow card there. The referee, if he gives him another yellow card, he's off. So he's taking a risk there. He's taking a risk. Okay, so this other player is now he's walking away to pick up the ball now. Look, all the way down there. Look, see, and he's got to walk all the way back, and then misses it. You see, and he's got the whole dance going on. So he's putting people off with that dance, isn't it? I'm not going to do that dance again. Just watch the video. Don't watch me dance. So it's one of those where it's borderline. You know, he could get in trouble. He could have got sent off for this type of stuff. It's risky, but he's going right to the limit and then just kind of calming down. So he's taking calculated risks there. And then the next one, saves it. Great save. Brilliant save there. Great save. Fair use, by the way. YouTube allows you to, if you're looking at a video in terms of critiquing it, they allow you to do that under the fair use policy. I didn't want to have to say that, but I'm saying it. So don't come at me. And look. So he saves this penalty, gets straight back up, and then he just punching. He's causing an atmosphere. He's putting off the other goalkeeper that walks, because that other goalkeeper now has to try for his team. You see what I mean? He's very smart with what he's doing, and it's also quite risky. It is actually also quite risky there. It's getting the crowd going as well. And I'm not gonna do any of those dances. I'm sorry, but you see, he's putting people off. He's in your face. But that's what I mean by effectively, taking calculated risks. He could have got himself sent off in the World Cup final because of 2 yellow cards from him, trying to put the opponent off too much. Next thing that we learn from him is be prepared to put the responsibility of winning on yourself. Put it on your damn shoulders, man. If you're a guy like me, man got broad shoulders. Put the damn thing on your back. Yeah. If you want it for yourself, if you want it for your family, son, put the damn thing on your back. Make it depend on you. And when you're a goalkeeper, yeah, you are actually responsible for your team winning that cup. You've got to make a save. You've got to make a save, or as you've seen, what he's done is he's put people off from scoring. You got to make them not score. That's on you. That's on your back. That's on your big, broad, black back. Yeah? See, I put the things that I need and want in my life, I put them firmly on my blood clot back. Yeah? And that's what you've got to learn to do. That's called accountability. You don't win in life without taking accountability for your wins and your losses. And he was fully accountable. That's why it means so much to him when he won. Nobody else won it for him. He won it for himself. He won it for his team. He won it for his country. He won it for his country. He won it for all those people, the whole nation. You see all those people in the stadium? He won it for them. He put it on his back. He took the whole responsibility for that. He's there in the goal by himself for his nation. Put your goals on your back. Don't let your manager be the one to decide if you're going to get promotion. Don't let your parents decide if you're going to end up in the dream job that you want, or pursuing something that they don't like, pursuing some ulterior career. Put it on your back for your own damn success, son. Put it on your back. Make it all depend on you and what you do. No one's going to give you anything in this life. I'm telling you, no one's going to give you anything. Nobody's going to give you nothing. Put it on your damn back. Put everything on this big black back. Bloody double-breasted suit on this big black back up in here, and sweating all up and putting it all on this YouTube thing so I can actually get someone to actually elevate and understand some key concepts that might help them in their life. No one else is asking me to do it. No one's forcing me to do it. I'm not doing it out of duress. I just put it on my back to do this every single time. You don't know what time it is in the UK right now. You don't want to know what time it is in the UK right now. And the next thing as well is, when you're going about what you're doing, move with supreme confidence. Don't move with hesitance. Move with supreme confidence. Yeah? Expect positive outcomes. Expect the results that you want. And that's what he's shown. He's moving with the expectation of being able to carry out what he's trying to do, which is to stop the opponent from scoring penalties. And the next thing is, see, this world, you can't get to where you want to get to and say, I want to get there, but with doing this. I want to get there, but with 80%. You got to go all bloody out. You got to do whatever it takes to win. And look what he's going to the lengths of putting people off. He's dancing, big man dancing in front of like 80,000 people. He's not just dancing because he feels good about it. He's dancing because he knows that's going to put the opponent off. The fans are going to start screaming. He did that dance on the opposition's fan. See that Man United clip? That's not his team. The penalty was taken where his opposition fans were, and he was dancing in front of their face. He's trying to disrupt everything that's going on for the opposition. He's attacking them, you know? He's doing whatever it takes to win. The opposition fans could throw stuff at him. They could come and beat that. It happens in football. People jump out the stadium and start attacking you. It's happened, and it happens in football. He doesn't care. He just wants to win. You need to adopt that mindset sometimes. I know a lot of people, they do this where it's like, I want promotion, but I don't want to do 60 hours a week. I can't help you. I can't help you, man. Like, I don't know what it takes. You don't know what it takes, but you got to be ready to do whatever it takes if that's what you want. Otherwise, you're gonna end up doing a Mario and just game over. You know, it's not something that you can calculate exactly what it takes. We just spoke. Nothing is smooth. This guy turned up after what? 10. It's not going to be smooth. You got to be willing to do it all. And lastly, let's see if I can. Let's see if I can. I can get something here. Yeah, let me get this up for you. This is the last thing that I'm going to say, and it's important actually. You know, we talk about winning mentality, doing whatever it takes to win. But what's equally as important actually is, you're going to see here, is try to have a little bit of fun with stuff. Try to take the edge off. And he's quite Emiliano Martinez. He likes to take the edge off the pressure that he puts on himself, right? These dancing type of stuff. And you see here, he's got Sultan not approving of him, obviously, but he's got his golden glove, which is an award that you get for being the best goalkeeper of the tournament. And for some reason, he's messing around with it. He's got it here, and he's a playful character in some respects. And you'll notice with a lot of people that put a lot of pressure on themselves, they kind of take the edge off, whether that's with holidays or sense of humor. You know, if you've got kids, sometimes people find a lot of solace in their kids, and they like to really kind of craw them. That's a term that we use in Ghana. They really like to, you know, mollycoddle their kids in a way, because that's their solace. You know, that's them taking the edge off their really stressful or hard-working, pressurized thing that they do. And yeah, he's a bit of a interesting character, as you see there. He's I think he's tattooed that on his arm as well. And it gets worse. He's a bit of a troll. He's a bit of a troll because he does the mind games, and you know, he's probably a way to take his edge off stuff. But he's got there. That's another player who he played against. His name's Kylian Mbappe. He's another footballer for France, and France played Argentina in the final. And he decided to put the picture of him on a fake baby for Bance. But yeah, the lesson you got to take from him is he's quite playful in nature, and I think that's always very important, to kind of take the edge off stuff. You know, this life is very difficult. This life is stressful, and to succeed, you've got to put stress on yourself. You've actually got to put stress on yourself. I've got a comment here. I'm really sorry that I haven't come to this comment earlier, but I'm not really used to comments. Is a Donny called Tanvir. He's saying I'm looking good. All right, Tanvir, man, big up, man, big up. I appreciate it, man. You know, we're trying out here. You know what I mean? Doing our thing. We're doing our thing, Tanvir. Big up, Tanvir Ahmed, man. Give my man a bomb as well. Big up Tanvir. How you doing? You doing good, yeah? You blessed. Good job. Thank you. Thank you, man. Big up. I think the bushwatcher was officially Tanvir, so we appreciate that. We appreciate that. But yeah, we're going to wrap up now. Basically, fundamentally, the main difference between cockiness and arrogance and competence and confidence is being able to do what you say or propose that you're going to do. And where does that competence and confidence come from? It comes from work. You can't run away from this stuff, and it takes time. So there you go. Emi Martinez and cockiness and arrogance versus competence and confidence. And a lot of young men, women as well, I can only speak to my being and my journey. A lot of young men growing up, even when they're mature in a lot of realms of life, they get mistaken in terms of their competence and confidence for the work that they've done in their life. People mistake that for confidence. People mistake that for cockiness and arrogance, but it's not, and it's quite disturbing, really, that now people are not able to decipher the difference between someone who's cocky and arrogant and someone who's actually just competent, really good at what they do, and confident. They know they can do it. So we've just touched on an individual there to kind of highlight that point, Emiliano Martinez. We're about to wrap up now. Appreciate everybody for jumping in and tuning up. All one of you for jumping in. I appreciate it. We're going to leave or exit with an affirmation. So if you'd like to, you don't have to, but if you like to, repeat after me. I will be, do, and have everything I want in this life and create my own destiny, because that is my divine will and I have been ordained to do so. I will be, do, and have everything I want in this life and create my own destiny, because that is my divine will and I have been ordained to do so. Okay? Thank you all very much. I think we've got one more comment from Tanvir. He says, do you remember me, bro? Of course I remember you. Of course I remember you. We will catch up. We will catch up. I remember everyone. Don't worry about that. I remember you. I appreciate the support. Thank you all very much. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. And we will leave shortly. It's been a good one. It's been a good one. This is the first in a series. Sporting Saturdays again. I want to try and I'm very multifaceted. I've done a lot of different things. I really enjoy sport for many reasons and on many levels. So I'd like to touch on sport and bring it to life in terms of lessons to be learned and potentially just discussing sport from a fanatical standpoint too. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I'm back on Monday, so you'll definitely get Monday to Friday. Back on Monday. Saturdays will be Sporting Sundays. I'm not here on Sunday. I've got to have some rest, but at the same time, do I really have to have some rest? I'm going to give myself some rest. I've got other things to do. And maybe you might touch on that on Monday, because Mondays I believe it's going to be a Money Monday. We're going to have to maybe go back to money on Monday and discuss a few things. Maybe I might touch on some of the things that I'm doing. Having said that, we'll see. I can guarantee myself, I'm going to be with you Monday to Friday. So you'll hear from me again Monday night, UK time. Schedule might change up a bit in terms of timing. I want to try and do things a little bit earlier, but we will wait and see. Again, I'm going to thank you. And I'm going to exit.